Happy 100th anniversary, again! Today it has been 100 years since the first sealed door of the tomb was discovered. Let's pick up where we left off. Carter writes in his journal, "Towards sunset we had cleared down to the level of the 12th step, which was sufficient to expose a large part of the upper portion of a plastered and sealed doorway. Here before us was a sufficient evidence to show that it really was the entrance to a tomb, and by the seals, to all outward appearances, that it was intact." At this point, they still had no idea who could be buried here, because this was the seal that they saw, with no cartouche, no name, no nothing. Ever since the discovery of the embalming cache, Carter and others had thought there was the possibility that there was another pharaoh in the Valley of the Kings, and honestly, there are still some that believe there might be one more tomb. After cleaning part of the doorway away, they found a wooden lintel at the top, behind some cement-like plaster. Carter made a small hole in this doorway to peer to the other side. His flashlight illuminated the stones and rubble that filled the passage between the two doorways. Remember that the priest put that rubble there after the tomb had been looted. Also FYI, this is a photo after the actual sealed doorway had been removed, but here you can see the lintel. I particularly like this quote from his journal. "It was a thrilling moment for an excavator, quite alone, save his native staff of workmen, to suddenly find himself, after so many years of toilsome work, on the verge of what looked like a magnificent discovery, an untouched tomb." I believe the main reason why we distinguish Carter's dig journal to his dig diary is that the diary was probably written the day of. That's the one that doesn't have nearly as much information. But the journals were probably written at a later time, hopefully not too long after, but definitely at a later time. Because after he talks about how he doesn't know whose tomb this is, he has said, "Had I known that by digging a few inches deeper, I would have exposed seal impression showing Tutankhamun's insignia distinctly, I would have fervently worked on and set my mind at rest." So he obviously he's adding into his journal what he later found out after they excavated this. But the day of, he still had no idea whose tomb this was. In fear of looters, Carter filled the stairway that he had just uncovered. He went back to his house and sent this telegram to Lord Carnarvon. "At last have made wonderful discovery in valley, a magnificent tomb with seals intact, recovered same for your arrival. Congratulations." I cannot understand how Carter may have felt at this moment because he decided to wait to excavate again until Lord Carnarvon got here from England. And it took him 22 days. I'm not patient enough for that. Next, I'm going to introduce you to the excavation team and throw in some passages from Carter's journals. But get ready for November 21st when we are back with the next event.